advertising violations. Oh, hey, start the recording, Chris. Thanks for that. So if they've seen close to 100 advertising violation complaints in a week, can you imagine what it's going to look like in a year? So we just, again, want to make certain that everybody's dotting their I's, crossing their T's, understanding what you can and can't do. And if you don't know, ask. That's what it comes down to. So let's start talking about all of this fun stuff. Did you guys know that there are 4 governing bodies that set guidelines for your advertising? Not 1, not 2, but 4 governing bodies that you guys need to be fully aware of. So the first one obviously is NAR. So the National Association of Realtors. They set the guidelines and parameters involving our state and local associations for the trademark realtor. So we're going to touch base on that. The state, of course, handles the majority of our guidelines for the wonderful compliance known as RELRA, the Real Estate Licensing Registration Act, which is then upheld by PAR. And we're also going to touch base on Maryland real estate. Okay, so they have their own set of compliance guidelines that have to be done if you are licensed in Maryland. The MLS has its own guidelines that you have to be aware of as far as advertising, what you can and can't do. And then there are the brokerage branding guidelines. Okay, so 4 different types that you guys need to be aware of. A lot of them cross over. However, again, we want to make certain that you guys are aware that there are different things that you need to be watching for. So with the National Association of Realtors, it's important for you guys to know and understand that NAR's membership marks, which includes the realtor logo, so the blue R for residential, the red R for commercial, and then the black R and MLS for the multi-listing services, are trademarks of NAR. They are to be used correctly and according to all of the rules that are set forth. Okay. What does this mean? Well, guys, when you are using the word realtor or realtor associate or realtors, it must be used in conjunction with a member's name. So the term realtor must appear in all capital letters. Most people don't realize that. It has to be fully capitalized and it must contain the trademark R to be set off from the member's name by a punctuation. What I mean by that is it's not Terry Bowermaster Realtor, it's Terry Bowermaster, comma, realtor. Okay. This is not it's not a license. It's not a status. By using the word realtor, it is a membership designation. You are a member of this elite association of realtors. So that's why you are allowed to use this. Where you cannot use it, you cannot use it in conjunction with a descriptive word, such as your neighborhood realtor, your hometown realtor, your bald realtor. You have to ensure that it is used standalone only. So you can use it as John Doe realtor. You can be the neighborhood real estate agent.
Is that one the advertising thing that's happening? I just figured I'd put it on in the background if that doesn't bother anybody.
No. I feel like I have muscle in my arm now and I never.
Make certain that whenever you guys are using this, whether it is in advertising on social media, whether it is in your email designation lines, make certain that you guys are using it not in conjunction with anything else. If it follows your name,
on you?
Erica, can you mute for us?
What are you sore from? You didn't work out with us.
Are you able to mute her? Thank you.
It's a question, what's the
Okay.
keyboard button to get the letter R for realtor?
So the shortcut I know on a MacBook to get the trademark, it is the option button and then the letter R. That populates the circle R logo. And then April, thank you for plugging that up. The Alt 0174 will give you the trademark logo as well. So sometimes people will use shortcuts. They'll find it as a JPEG and they'll paste it in there as a photo to be able to use it. Okay. So again, make certain you are not You are not using it with a descriptive term or as a vocational description, such as real estate broker or agent. So if you are a broker, you cannot use it in conjunction with broker. You're one or the other. Yes, you can be both. But for instance, Justin is not Justin Hovetter, broker / realtor. He is Justin Hovetter, broker. Okay, so they don't like to see them in conjunction. All kinds of weird, stupid guidelines, but these are the things that people were calling out. Such uses, they tend to suggest that the term realtor identifies an occupation and can be used interchangeably with terms such as real estate agent, broker, or salesperson, rather than identifying the member's status. Remember, it's a membership. It's not a license. It's not a, I don't even know what I want to call it, but it is a membership that you are allowed to use. Kind of like if you were in the military, for instance, well, you're a Marine or you're a navalman or, you know, whatever those fun terms are. You know, you're a part of an elite group, essentially. The rules concerning the use of the marks have been in effect for the last 25 years, and they're the same in print media as they are in today's electronic media. They do recognize that in addition, the preferred use of the word realtor is to be shown as realtor, though putting it in lowercase when it is not able to be done in all caps is acceptable if that is the only option that is feasible. Okay. Did anybody at all know that it had to be in all caps? Anybody?
I just thought it had to because it was.
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yes.
Well, I had no clue. So
I got pointed out probably about 3 years ago. I wasn't using it in all capitals and I got a slap on the wrist for it. So I do make sure it's always in all capitals. And now my phone knows if I type out realtor, it just automatically capitalizes it.
good, good. So if you are using it on a social media page, if you're able to, just change it. Some social media pages will not allow you to go back and change your name depending on when you last changed your page title. So just keep that in mind. As social media networking websites and blogs are gaining more popularity across the real estate world, there are more, there's more leniency that is coming out because there are certain things that you can and cannot do. So for instance, your username, you do not have to have your username in all caps because it's not feasible. So whenever you create a username, it automatically defaults to lowercase. However, keep in mind, your username must run with compliance. So you cannot use a username such as the #1 realtor or your Michigan realtor or Jane-Chicago-realtor. It must be used in conjunction with your name. You can be Realtor Terry Bowermaster, Terry Bowermaster Realtor, but I cannot be the Carlisle Realtor. Something along those lines, okay?
That's Justin.
What's that?
Justin's the Carlisle.
I'm on Instagram, I'm the car.
You are?
Carlisle being.
Oh.
So, yeah, so again, most people don't realize this. These are things that whenever you are setting up social media, you are just setting up something that works and it corresponds with what target market you are trying to focus on. So a lot of these guidelines kind of go by the wayside because people don't realize that when joining your membership, this is what falls on you. So the rules governing the use realtor marks the same regardless of the medium in which the marks are being used. So if you're using them in print, advertising, web, URLs, email addresses, signature lines, usernames, they are the whole way across the board. The rules require that the realtor marks to be used with the name of a member or with the legal name of a member's broker's real estate business. So what I mean by that is we could be Iron Valley Inc., realtors. We can't be realtors with Iron Valley Real Estate. It would have to be the actual brokerage name and designation. Just don't do it. Okay, so here's some examples of do's and don'ts when it comes to using the trademark realtor. Do not use it Those are flip-flopped. My do's are on the wrong side and my don't is on the wrong side. So when you're looking at this presentation, please flip the blue or the green and the red. Jane Smith Realtor is acceptable. Realtor Jane Smith is acceptable. Realtor Smith is acceptable. At Realtor Jane and Jane Realtor. Those are all acceptable. However, Chicago Realtor, your Chicago Realtor, #1 Realtor, your local Realtor, Realtor Solution, Realtor Mom. These are not acceptable because they are not being used in conjunction with the members' names. I apologize for the flip-flopped do's and don'ts. I should have looked at that more clearly.
Real quick, what
for it.
about like a hashtag realtor life?
Say that again, Brittany.
What about like hashtag realtor life? I see it a lot.
It is not acceptable. The word realtor is not a descriptive word. So for instance, your neighborhood realtor, that's a description, right? You are not to be using that in any sort of descriptive communication, anything. So that hashtag, you could get called out on it. So I just, do we see it all the time? The answer is yes, guys. The reality of it is there are more people out there that are using it incorrectly than there are people that are using it correctly, okay? I'm not telling you that you're going to get slapped for it. I'm not telling you that somebody's going to turn around and is going to run it up the flagpole. What I am telling you is be aware, right? Just be aware, because all it's going to take is one person who sees a post that you make and they could be having a bad day, or they could be pissed off because they put an offer in on your listing and they didn't win it, or they just don't like the fact that you sell more houses than they do. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be the tiniest thing, and you may not have ever had a conversation with this person, and it takes one screenshot and one anonymous communication to the local association or BPOA, and now you're being investigated because they don't just look at that one screenshot. Now they're going to go and they're going to break down your entire business page. They're going to look at your Facebook, your Instagram, your personal, your LinkedIn. They're going to look at everything that they possibly can to ensure that you are using the trademarks properly. Okay. It
I have
sucks.
another question.
Go ahead.
If I admit that I know I've done this in the past, how do I make that go away? Do I have to go back through and go through everything and delete all those posts?
I'm not going to tell you yes, but I'm not going to tell you no. I mean, there is no true answer to that, Brittany. It's ideally you should do whatever you can to ensure that recent stuff is correct. However, keep in mind, if you go back and you correct just enough, and then moving forward, everything is done correctly, you at least then at that point have a platform to stand on should they investigate you to say, this was brought to my attention, I corrected it, and I'm doing it right. The chances of them throwing it out at that point in time because they can see that you have made it and you've corrected it, you're going to be able to walk away at that point. Okay.
There's a question right here.
So Joseph, you are using that. That is correct. Your question is, how about as a realtor, my job is to. That is all right, because you were using that in the sense of, as a member of the Association of Realtors, my job is to perform X, Y, and Z. So in that aspect, you are okay with using it in that sense.
Thank you. And it doesn't have to be all capitalized, right? In this sense.
It doesn't, because depending on how you're communicating, if you're posting it out there and it's a form of advertisement, or you're putting it out on your social media where multiple people can see it, then I would absolutely positively put it out in the correct format. Just because in that aspect, you are using it as a form of advertisement. If you are just communicating with a client through text message or an email, then shortcutting it in that aspect, you're probably safe. But again, if you know the proper way to display it, do so.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Terry, would you, for those of us that are new to business agents and stuff that don't have years worth of social media posts and everything like that, would you recommend us going through with a fine tooth comb and just doing a once over to make sure that like all of our stuff is good?
It absolutely doesn't hurt you.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's not a significant amount and years worth of stuff, it absolutely does not hurt you. Again,
Okay.
I'm not telling you to go back and clean up all of your past stuff, but use your best judgment. If you don't have a ton of stuff and you would just rather make certain you've got a clean slate moving forward, then go for it. But use your best judgment. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions regarding the NAR requirements for trademark usage of the word or symbols for Realtor?
Just to clarify, you said that hashtags on social media posts can be under just as much scrutiny as like a normal post without hashtags, correct?
Yeah, they
Okay.
absolutely can be, especially whenever you're using a trademarked word.
Got it.
Okay. So the next one, guys, the next one for us is the big one. So this is Pennsylvania's RELRA guidelines. So RELRA is the Real Estate Licensing and Registration Act. Ask Christy to say it a couple times, she'll make you want to drink. RELRA was established in Pennsylvania in 1980 under its current real estate licensing, under the current real estate licensing law. So Section 202 of RELRA establishes that the State Real Estate Commission is to administer the act and supervise the activities of licensees in Pennsylvania. The authority hereby grants the Real Estate Commission to enforce the rules and regulations through fines, denial of licenses, suspension, or revocation of licenses. They may also charge civil and criminal actions against violators in serious cases. There are a total of 8 sections that need to be complied with when it comes to RELRA and the rules and regulations. A lot of these are things that you guys probably won't ever have to worry about, but I want to make certain that they're pointed out to you just in the off chance. The first one is section 35.301 that talks about the unauthorized advertising and solicitation. What does this mean? If you don't have a contract to sell it, don't advertise it. Unless you have some form of permission from the person who is contractually obligated to do so. All right. I'm going to show this quick video because I thought it was funny. Well, let's just watch.
Hi, I'm Mike Delina. This house behind me, it's not my listing, but I'm sure going to make it look like it is. In fact, this video isn't even about the house. It's about me. Well, a version of me that appeals to you. A version of me that strolls to the house aimlessly, caressing countertops as I walk by. A version of me that appears knowledgeable about all home-related things, even though I'm not. A version of me that doesn't look tired or hungover, selling homes, negotiating contracts. These are things that I don't do. What I do is spend 70% of my time on social media. So you think that I sell a lot of homes. In fact, if you looked up my production, I've only sold 2 homes this year, but you'd never know that. Did I mention this listing isn't even mine? I should probably credit the actual listing agent, but I'm going to conveniently forget to do so. So when it's time to pick a realtor, the choice is clear. Do you want an overly salesy social media guru, or do you want a social media guru who's overly salesy?
Again, I thought it was funny, wanted to share it with you. Key takeaway from that is he's doing a walkthrough on a house. He's essentially advertising a listing that isn't his. And he's openly saying, I'm not going to give credit to the person who does have the advertisement. So what section 35.301 states is that a licensee may not advertise the sale or lease of real estate or otherwise solicit any prospective buyers or tenants for the real estate without the authority of the seller or lessor or of the agent of the seller or lessor. Section B says the exact same thing, just in regards to a rental. Okay. So what this means is if you want to share a property, ask. Not hard, guys. We do it all the time. So the office, what is our policy as far as advertising buyer sides? Get it to us in writing. You show our marketing admin that you've got permission to share and utilize the listing agent's photos and information, and we'll advertise it for you. But again, it has to be in writing because we do not hold the contract that grants us the privilege to advertise the property. So where this can get really, really weird is the sharing of social media. We all do it. We share things all the time on social media. If you're just clicking the share button, it's okay because the original post is still the initial thing that is being shared. Because if somebody were to click on it and look at your post, they're going to see the original poster's information, have access to the listing agent, contact, all of that stuff. However, if you are taking a post, saving it and reposting it as your own, and you are not crediting the listing agent or have permission to do so, don't do it. Okay? You must have a contractual obligation to be allowed to do so. So Mindy, did I just answer your question? Okay. The other thing that you guys want to be real careful about is social media reels. So when you share a reel, if you share it from somebody's page, the original post does not roll over. It just shares the video. And you have to physically click on the video to see the write-up that was done in the original post. Not everybody necessarily sees that. So be mindful that when you are sharing videos, you want to ensure that you are going just that extra step and stating that this house is listed by so-and-so or whatnot, okay? Alicia says she was reprimanded for sharing this old house post from the original post by our MLS a few years ago. That's interesting. But it was the original post, you said.
Yeah, it was the original post. The house was listed in our MLS, but it was on this old house who credited the listing agent when they listed it. So I was always curious about that.
Yeah, who reprimanded you?
Joe Lynn at CSVBR.
So it was directly from CSVBR that you got that's interesting.
Yep.
I wonder if they reprimanded this old house too for sharing it.
Probably not, since they're not part of our MLS. But I'm
Okay.
assuming the listing agent submitted it to this old house to get the
Gotcha.
eyes on it. I'm not sure.
That's see, it's just another example, guys. I mean,
Well, I've got one right now. And I just posted it as being listed by the realtor, broker. She gave me permission to share a listing she has here. She is a great many miles away, counties and counties away. And I have shown the property a couple times with her knowledge, and we've had a lot of communication. And she's perfectly fine with me.
MJ, you're breaking up. Yeah, you're breaking up really
Sorry.
bad. No, that's
Okay.
okay. As long as you've gotten that permission from her and she said she has no problem with you sharing it, then you're completely fine as far as that goes. What I always do is if I see a property online that I want to share, or if I see something that I think is valuable for my clients that pertains to real estate, I'm going to comment directly in the original post, and I'm going to say to the poster, do you mind if I share this on your behalf? And I'm going to share it, and I may even go the extra step and say, this great property is listed by so-and-so with such and such real estate, and go from there. You want to schedule a showing? I'm happy to set it up for you. But then it's clear. This isn't my listing. I don't have the contractual right, but I've been given permission to be able to, and it's in writing. It's in writing, guys. That's key. Put it in writing. Unauthorized advertising and solicitation, blah, blah, blah. So one of these things I want to make certain you guys see here, we see a lot of these ads, and I went through and I did, full disclosure, I went through and I did a whole lot of Facebook stalking, not just on our agents, but on other agencies, just to pull Facebook, things and who's doing things right. And I thought, well, I'm going to share a bunch of stuff. And then I decided, no, I'm not going to do that. because it's not right. So I just recreated some examples to show you here. So I can't tell you the number of posts I saw that goes under this don't section, where people are just posting a listing and say, contact me today to schedule your showing. Well, who are you? It's not your listing. So who's got the privilege to be able to go ahead and do the to do the advertising? So if you want to do so, make certain, again, you're getting the permission and you are crediting who the home is listed with. Okay, it covers your ass is basically what it comes down to.
So I have a question. If you're doing an open house for another agent
Mm-hmm.
and you're like posting that on like my page,
Mm-hmm.
why still?
So the question is where are you posting it from? So if you are sharing the post directly from our page,
Yeah.
the original post is already crediting who the listing agent is and who the hosting agent is. So you're covered.
Yeah.
If you are just creating your own post, which a lot of agents do, and you can do so, but make certain that yes, you are listing, this home is listed by X, Y, and Z, and I am hosting this on their behalf. Brooke says, does this count when sharing an office listing from IVRE Connect? So IVRE Connect, whenever you are sharing a link, it is going to generate a link. And what's going to happen is it is going to come from your site. So it's going to show, terrybowermaster.ironvalleyrealestate.com and then the listing, blah, 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 blah. There is nothing on that link that tells anybody that I'm not that listing agent. Now, by right, technically, all listings are owned by Justin. Everything that is under Justin is the broker. Justin says, you have my permission to share any office listings. However, check with the listing agent. Make certain the listing agent has no problem with you sharing their listing. You don't know if there are things that the seller does or doesn't want to have out there. Maybe the seller told the listing agent that they don't want their home to be marketed on Facebook, or they don't want it to be put here because maybe they're going through a really bad divorce and they don't want this person to see it because this person is a Facebook warrior or whatever it may be. So always, always, always double check with the listing agent first and foremost to make certain that they don't have a problem with you sharing their listing. At that point, then you may absolutely share your link directly from IVRE Connect, because when you click on the link, it takes the person back to the website, and the website then lists that this home is listed by so-and-so. Okay, so your base is covered there, but again, go the extra step, add it, just list it. It doesn't hurt you to list who it's listed by, right? So just cover your bases. Corey, you said about a for sale by owner. So for sale by owners get to be a little tricky. You need to have something in writing from the seller that says that you are allowed to advertise their property. Okay, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be listed with an agent because they don't want to pay a commission. But there could be other reasons. They, again, may not want to have it advertised. They may not want certain people to be able to see it or know that they have their home for sale or have interior photos or whatever it may be. So always, always, always just double check. And again, get it in writing. Make sense? Yep, good. Okay, these 2 items, I would hope we don't ever have to touch base on, but I need to tell you about them. So section 302 talks about harassment. A licensee, whether you're acting on or on behalf of a prospective buyer or not, you may not solicit by personal contact, telephone, mail, or advertising the sale or other disposition of real estate with such frequency as to amount to clear harassment. What do I mean by this?
52 text messages in a weekend.
152 text messages in a weekend. You got it. Popping up left and right at somebody's house. So they can list with you. Spamming message after message after message to a potential for sale by owner. It is considered harassment. You will lose your license for it. Okay? Panic selling, section 303 talks about an attempt by a licensee to bring upon the panic to sell in order to profit from it as bad faith under section blah, blah, blah. So panic selling, what that means is it's a frequent effort to sell residential real estate in a particular neighborhood because of fear of declining real estate or fear of change or whatever. So for instance, if you have a client who wants to move into a neighborhood and now you are walking around that specific neighborhood and you are telling homeowners that prices are declining, they need to sell their homes now to be able to get out from underneath it and to get the value that they deserve. And I have a buyer and we can get you what you need. You are now creating a panic within a neighborhood that is not justifiable. Make sense? Okay. Oh, what's that one? Something new I have come across a few months ago. My first time seeing an advertisement, an old listing I had in Lebanon a few years ago. The owner at the time decided to keep it. I passed by a few weeks ago and saw a large banner. Thanks, Chris. Saw a large banner on the building. I called the owner and asked if he had it listed with this agent. He said no, but he did allow her to put a banner up with just her information. It does not read for sale or available. I can't say, Barb. We don't know the circumstances. So if it doesn't say for sale, she's technically not advertising the property for sale. So the question is this person advertising herself and using the building as a billboard style? So I don't know. Without having more details and information as to why and what she's doing, we can't really say what is or isn't happening there. Okay, this is a big one, guys. Section 304 states that you must disclose when you own real estate. You all learned this in class. This is something that you've experienced when working with other people. If you are buying, selling, leasing, if you are doing something personally when it comes to real estate, you must disclose that you hold a real estate license in all advertisements for the property if it is a for sale by owner. This is where people get really confused, okay? If you are selling your house privately and not through the brokerage, you must, in all advertisements, everywhere, blast it out there that you are the owner, that you are a licensee and you hold a financial interest. If you list it with the brokerage, you do not have to disclose it in the advertisements because it is in your listing contract, your paperwork with the brokerage, all of that good stuff. However, you must disclose it in all contractual obligations. So when it goes under contract, it must be in the agreement of sale. Your listing contract, it must state. Your buyer's agency, it must state that the licensee holds a financial interest in the buyer sale of this property. Okay. Can you mute everybody? Looks like most of them. Okay. So section 305 is the biggest one that we see violations on. So this is the one that people are getting the majority of the fines on. So we're going to spend a couple minutes talking about this. Section 305 states that the business name must be on all advertisements. If you hold a real estate license, unless you are your own company, you got your license, you opened your own little brokerage, and it's just you, yourself, and I doing business, your license hangs for a real estate brokerage. Any type of real estate activity, I don't care what it is, if you are advertising in any way, shape, or form that you can help somebody do something that pertains to the buy or sell of real estate, you must include your brokerage information. Okay? There is no grace on this. None. In 2024, there were 180 cases totaling in $236,808 collected by the State Real Estate Commission for this fine alone. Put your brokerage information on it. Put the office phone number on it, okay? If you're advertising your phone number, the office phone number always gets advertised, all right? Personally, I don't care, but you're going to when you get that notification that you're not advertising it. So you are only allowed to market yourself as a real estate professional alongside of the brokerage where your license hangs. That's not an us thing. That's a state thing. Okay. So make certain that if you are putting yourself out there in any way, shape, or form, the brokerage information is out there. Okay. If you wish to advertise under a nickname, my license name is Teresa. Every contract that I write says Teresa Bowermaster. I advertise under Terry because the name Terry is approved under my license with the state. I had to physically submit it to the state. So if you are a Jonathan and you go by John and John is not registered with the state under your license, I better not ever see you advertise yourself as John. You're always advertising under Jonathan. Okay? Does that make sense? So you are only allowed to do business under the name that you are licensed as. So Michael, I'm assuming you have Mike registered with your license, right? John, I know you're John, you're Chris. Tanner, you're Tanner. Wendy, like as far as
MJ,
MJ, and you're registered as MJ, correct?
that's right.
So remember, you cannot falsely advertise yourself if it is not something that is set up under your license, okay? And they do, they'll catch you on that. So same with, I mean, even if it's something stupid, even if it's, you know, the greatest real estate agent ever, you want to register that as a nickname, go for it. If the state approves it, advertise away, but get it approved through the real estate commission. Okay. And then C, any advertisement by an associate broker or salesperson shall contain the business name and telephone number of the employing broker. They must be of equal or greater size. I'm not saying that because we want the glory. I'm saying that because that is the law. Okay. So if your telephone number is in 12-point print, the brokerage telephone number is in 12-point print. Okay. If it's a different font and the font sizes are off just a little bit, just go that just little extra step and make the office number just a little bit bigger, just so it doesn't look different. Okay. So this is, again, this is really important. And I'm going to show you guys some examples here a little further on, but we see ads all the time, particularly things like billboards or bus stops or signs that are out and about, where the agent's name is in this big fancy script and the brokerage is down in small print in the corner, and there's the agent's phone number right there in the middle, and then the office is super small. I get it. It's your billboard. It's your advertisement, right? You want them to see you. We got to see the brokerage information too. Okay. Go for it. Jason said, not sure if you covered this or not, but on the IVRE boost, it does not say what brokerage the boost is for as it shows up on the ad. Jason, I'm going to defer to Christy on this. We're going to have her, we're going to double check what Jason is saying is when you do the IVRE boost, it's not promoting the brokerage information.
So IVR, are you talking about Real Force? cause there's a training on that tomorrow, or it's sometime this week. I don't want anyone using that as of right now.
Jason, are you talking about the Realforce platform?
Don't know.
Was he talking about like the fall?
There we go. Can
the
you hear me
autumn
now?
One that just
Yep, now
came-
we can hear you, Jason.
Okay, sorry, I have a new computer and it took me a sec. I'm not sure. It's where whenever you boost a property, right, it just doesn't say the brokerage, it says Iron Valley Real Estate. It doesn't say specifically Hanover.
Do you have to pay for that?
Yeah,
Yeah, so, yeah, don't use that.
So that's that Realforce that you're
That's the
talking about.
Realforce, which there is a training on it coming up. I'll put it in the Facebook page, just as a reminder to everyone. But as of now, don't use that anymore, Jason, until we learn more about it. It's not the way, it doesn't work the same way that KV Core worked. It's more about search engine optimization and
gotcha.
bringing your website up, closer to the top when trying to find out who you are. It's not so much about bringing leads in, unless you tell me that you're boosting it and getting leads from it.
Okay, thank you.
Are you, Jason?
Oh, say that again? Am I boosting and getting leads from it?
Yes.
I am not. For KV Core, I got a bunch of leads, and from my boost on this, I do not.
Okay, boosting is two different things. Don't do it through this system.
Okay.
Alright.
Well,
Okay.
when I say boosting, I mean through the systems, through IVRE Connect.
Just don't do it. I'll call you privately.
Okay, thank you.
Chrissy, let's look into that because I want to make certain that if they are using that, it should be linking back, not to the main corporate page. It should be linking back directly to the office page that they're sharing it from.
Rob was talking about having it totally removed from the system.
Okay.
Now I saw the meeting was scheduled, so I'm going to the meeting.
All right, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into that, guys, because we want to make certain that that's properly taken care of. Alicia says, what constitutes an advertisement? Are we okay to do a reel as long as our main profile? The answer is yes, as long as it is linked and connected back to your main profile. Because with reels, people can't download them and re-upload them as their own. They can only share them based upon linking from the main profile that they are connected to. So yes, as long as your main profile is set up properly, you're okay. Mindy, whenever corporate comes out with graphics, you are correct. They are not broker specific. So whenever they put graphics out on their main page, they're putting them out for you guys to share them directly from their page. They do in turn, however, give us the option to turn around and recreate those same pages specific to our brand. So if there is, and I'm saying this for everybody, if there is something that corporate puts out that you guys really, really, really like or really, really, really want, shoot it over to me or Ashley as far as marketing goes, and we'll make certain that it's got the proper office on it for you. Okay. So in addition to Section 5, one of the big things is you may not advertise the brokerage with an abbreviation. 2 years ago, KW, and I don't know which KW it was. I don't think it was a local one, but KW got hit with a pretty hefty fine because agents were advertising themselves as KW agents and not Keller Williams agents. Yeah, they're KW agents, but legally their license reads Keller Williams. You are allowed to use an abbreviation in conjunction with the full office name. So when Iron Valley rolled out IVRE, remember what we told you. You can use the IVRE logos, but they must be in conjunction with your office logo. Okay, so you can't just use IVRE. Don't abbreviate yourself as real estate agent with IVRE, and stop advertising yourself on social media, in your email signature lines, on your contracts and anywhere else, stop calling yourself a real estate agent with Iron Valley Real Estate. Last time I checked, none of you were licensed with the office in Lebanon. Lebanon is the only office that is Iron Valley Real Estate. Everybody else is Iron Valley of Central PA or York County or Hanover or Gettysburg or Mid-Penn or wherever your license hangs, okay? Iron Valley Real Estate is the brand as a whole, which is great, which allows us to wear the swag because we are a part of the franchise. You can wear that stuff. But when you are marketing yourself as an agent, contractually or advertising or marketing wise, make certain you are disclosing your office. Okay. So when you are doing an ad, guys, make certain you are using the proper logos for your office. Okay. And if you don't know where they are, send me a message. I got you. There are a couple clicks and you've got access to everything that you need. Okay. You're welcome, Austin. I stole this from Danielle, from the trainer at Camp Hill. She did a advertising training at the Greater Harrisburg Association of Realtors about a year ago, and she showed an example on social media. So this is an example of item C, which shows the disclosure of your brokerage information on social media. So as you can see here, when looking at the don't section, you can see that the only thing that's listed on her social media page is her cell phone number. It does not reference anything pertaining to where she works or the office phone number. It's just all about her on the don't section. The good section, her cover photo clearly shows her brokerage, for example, the office phone number, and then her cell phone number private furthermore down her page. Okay. So just be cognizant of how you guys have things set up, because depending on how you set up your personal page or your business page, you might not be able to list things like the office phone number or whatnot. If you have a personal page, like me, I have a personal page and it shows that I am with Iron Valley of Central PA because that's where my license hangs, but it doesn't show my office phone number. So if I am going to advertise myself as an agent, I need to have that office phone number somewhere on there, whether it's on my short bio that is easily accessible for clientele to see, on my cover photo, like in the example here, or somewhere that shows how they are able to get in touch with me through the brokerage. Okay. So again, on your business pages, make certain your business page shows your brokerage and your brokerage phone number in addition to all of your information. Okay. Any questions at all, guys? Nope. Good. Moving on. Here are two more examples. These are the kind of things we see all the time. So under the don't, you can see there's a real estate agent here who's advertising herself. She's a realtor. The realtor branding is wrong. Nowhere on here does it show who she works for or how to get in touch with her office. It only shows her. Versus under the do, brokerage information is bold and right at the top. You can see very clearly who she's affiliated with. Down underneath the contact information, her name, her cell phone number, and the office phone number. Okay. Yeah, Wendy.
Terry, I thought that we had to have the address also. So
You
it's
do not.
just the-
It is just the phone number and the brokerage name. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the office address is not required. Is it nice to have? Sure, depending on what it is, but it is not a requirement. This section of the guidelines through RELRA talks about the advertisements of lotteries, contests, prizes, certificates, gifts, and lots. There is a whole bunch of stuff here that you need to make certain you're disclosing. If you are running a contest, giving away prizes, doing a lottery of any sort, that sort of thing. the people that I know have done this, I know are good, because 9 times out of 10, you've come to me and said, hey, I've got this idea and I want to do X, Y, and Z. Okay. But if you're considering doing some sort of a giveaway, you need to make certain that you are describing each prize, certificate, gift, or whatever is being offered. What are the prerequisites for receiving each prize? The limitation of the number of prizes that are given away, the fair market value of each item that you are giving away. You must disclose the odds of winning.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Well, how many Facebook friends do you have?
Where do you do it?
It depends on where you're advertising it. So if you're advertising it on social media, when you make the post to put it out about the contest, you need to be listing X, Y, and Z.
Oh, that's not happening.
And I will tell you, there are a ton of people who don't do it. So most of the time when things like this are being done, what they're referencing with these issues are big events, like big things. If you're giving away multiple prizes, if you're trying to get people in the door for certain things, whatnot. If it's just a little like, hey, I want to give away a quick little goodie, or I've got a gift card for somebody. It's $100 gift card to 113 Social, and based upon X, Y, and Z, this is what it is. You're probably not going to have an issue, but again, all it takes is one, right? So just know that there are certain things that you must make certain you are disclosing. Yeah.
So if you're gonna do a giveaway and you wanna make sure that you have this disclaimer done the right way, you could do it, does it have to be in the body of the post, or could you do a disclaimer as a separate picture?
You could do a disclaimer as a separate photo.
So that way it's not completely all confuddled.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So Crystal says, does anyone have an example of a Facebook contest that they've done that was approved so we can see what to look at? I will get back to you on that. I do have some that were done previously, so I will be more than happy to send something out whenever I send the recording and whatnot out. Okay. So basically what this comes down to is just make certain you're putting it out there as to what you're doing, what people's odds are, what it is, right? They want to make certain that you are not just giving away stuff left and right. Remember, we're not supposed to be paying or incentivizing people for their business. That's where this comes into play. Okay.
And none of those prizes can be given out in conjunction with leads, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. This one we see all the time. Okay. If you are going to market or advertise your sales volume, your position in the market, how many offices do you serve? What areas do you cover? Blah, 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 blah. You must ensure, and this is more so us as the brokerage than most of the agents, but you must ensure that you are properly advertising only closed transactions. It's not pending. It's not what's currently on the market. It's only what has been closed, deed has been transferred, it's been paid, and it's done. Okay. We must advertise the market that it's in. I can't just say in all of Pennsylvania. Well, what market is it? Is it Cumberland County? Is it your? So for example, here, we do these posts once a year towards the beginning of the year. We give the previous year's stats based upon the market that agents are in. We pull the numbers from GHAR, from RAAC, from CSVBR, from West Branch. We pull everything. And then we break them down to tell you what your ranks are based upon the certain counties. Okay. So when we do these ads, we're advertising that you are in the top X% based upon your closed number of transactions in this county. It's not all of PA, it's specific to a market. Okay. So where we see it is we see inflation of brokerages, right? We all know there are a ton of brokerages out there that combine themselves into one big conglomerate, and then they get to sit and boast that they are number one in the area. That's cool, but your area spans all of Pennsylvania. So your numbers are misconstrued compared to the actual market. Okay, so be cautious of this. If you guys are going to market that, you know, because some of you are really tech savvy and can get into the MLS and can pull your stats, right? It takes me forever to do it. Some of you do it a hell of a lot faster than I do. Just make certain that if you're posting things like, hey, we're the #1 team in X or Y or Z, you're laying out where those numbers are pulled from, what market do they encompass, and where you got your, like, where did you get those numbers? Well, we got them from Bright MLS, right? Or we got them from the Greater Harrisburg Association of Realtors, and it only encompasses this specific market, all right? So again, this is really important. Don't overinflate yourself. Make certain that you are properly advertising closed sales volume and your market position. And this is one that really only pertains to brokerages, but this goes back essentially to an affiliated business disclosure and brokerages. So make certain that if you have any sort of relationship with any sort of educational institute, if you have some sort of side agreement with an online school, or you have your own, as a brokerage, we were to have our own real estate school, that sort of thing, we must ensure that we disclose that to all people who are participating on it so that they know that, hey, this school is owned by X, Y, and Z, okay? For those of you who are licensed in Maryland, when selling real estate in Maryland, selling in Maryland is, in my personal opinion, 10 times harder than selling in Pennsylvania because there are a bazillion forms and addendums and everything else that goes along with it. However, I will take Maryland's guidelines for advertising any day over Pennsylvania's. They give you a checklist and say, before you advertise, do you have the name of the licensee? Yes or no? Do you have the name of the license category? Are you a real estate agent? Are you an appraiser? Are you a mortgage lender? Yes or no? Do you have the brokerage name? Do you have the brokerage telephone number? Do you have the authority to advertise? Maryland is super, super, super easy. Yes, there are items that need to be done, but they make it a no-brainer for you. So Maryland, make certain, if you are licensed in Maryland, here is what I say. Everything that Maryland requires, Pennsylvania requires also, and then some. Just make certain that you're following the Pennsylvania requirements, and then you're fully covered from Maryland. Okay, make sense? Actually, Maryland is a lot more lenient. Where Pennsylvania requires that the brokerage name and phone number be equal to or greater than the agent's, Maryland does not require that at all. The office name and information can be on there, but it can be just, as long as it's readable, it's fine. That's what it comes down to. So again, if you're licensed in both states, just make certain that you are following the guidelines for Pennsylvania so that you're fully covered the whole way across the board, okay? Does anybody have any questions whatsoever on state compliance when it comes to advertising?
So I know I asked you this before, but I just want to double check. So back to the brokerage, if we are doing a Facebook post and we tag in the office's information, that's sufficient because they can click on that and that gives the information.
Correct. So as long as, so like I noticed the way that you do it, you always check in at the office, which you're fine to do so. The only caveat is if you are listing your cell phone number anywhere in the body of that post, make certain you are also including the brokerage phone number. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. MLS. A lot of people don't think about the MLS, but the MLS has its own sets of rules and regulations. When it comes to advertising, there are really only two big things that you guys need to be aware of that you cannot do. Okay. So obviously there are more things, but these are the two big ones that I want to make certain that we point out. With the MLS, subscribers may not use images or documents without express written permission by the person who owns them. What's that mean? Don't take another agent's photos. Don't take their information. If the listing dies, let's say it expires, and then you're the lucky agent to relist it, you can't use the property disclosure or the lead-based paint or the documents that were provided by the last agent without that agent's permission to do so. Yes, it was completed by the seller who's now your client, but it was completed by that agent on their time. You must have permission to do so, okay? We cannot advertise. We cannot use another agent's photographs unless we have their permission, which again, back to Ashley and our marketing department, we will not advertise a buyer who's under contract or is sold unless you have provided us with written confirmation that we are allowed to do so. It can be an email, it can be a text message screenshot, or it can be this wonderful form that we created that provides consent that the agent has signed off on, okay? We're flexible. We just need to see that we're allowed to do it, okay? Again, that is an MLS guideline. When you guys clicked that button to sign up for the MLS that said, I agree to these terms and conditions, whether you like it or not, you signed up to follow these, okay? And as you can see here, the second item is the MLS does not allow photos with your contact information in it, okay? We get notifications from the MLS all the time with a potential violation because somebody posts a listing photo that has their for sale sign in it. You are not allowed to advertise to the public your contact information. So if your for sale sign shows up in any of your listing photos, it's going to be flagged. All right, you're going to get a violation if you don't change it. You'll get a fine. So the reason for this is when these roll out, because remember, these MLS listings are being fed by IDX feeds to third-party sites. All of these photos are going to go on Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, Redfin, all of the above. They do not want your contact information out there on somebody else's website, okay? A lot of those third-party websites sell the leads back to us. Aren't they great, right? So if our contact information is in the listing photos, those third-party companies will lose out on the leads because somebody can just click on the photo and get your contact information. It's stupid, I know, but it's not allowed, okay? It is a $250 fine through Bright MLS, and I believe Flex MLS is right around the same if you are caught with your contact information in any photos, okay? So don't do it. Can you put a watermark your name on the original home photos? Jason, your name or contact information? No, because that goes hand in hand with this second guideline. You can't put your anything pertaining to your contact information. I don't know about a watermark though, depending on what the watermark is. Yeah, oh, it won't. Okay, so I'm being told that Bright will not allow you to upload something with a watermark. So there's our answer. Answer's no, sorry. Melissa just said something in there. Can sign be shown in a reel? The answer is yes. If your reel or additional advertising, such as a reel, is done somewhere other than the MLS. So Bright MLS will not allow you to upload any sort of videos, links, or anything that has any of your branding on it. So if your sign is in there, or if your video at the end has an outro that has your contact information, Bright's going to flag it and take it down. But if you're just doing a social media reel and putting it out there on social media, then you're totally fine. You can do that stuff all day long. All right, on to brokerage branding. So Iron Valley has spent a lot. Corey says that's the same with description too. Yes, Corey, you cannot put your information, contact information in a listing description either. Iron Valley has spent a lot of time, a lot of money on their branding, right? They've really put a lot into the things that make Iron Valley, the colors, the logos, the fonts, all of that great stuff. They have gotten a lot more lenient over the last year. So once upon a time, they used to tell us that the only thing that you could put Iron Valley on were these 4 colors within moderation. They have changed that because they understand that they put us in a box with what we can and can't do by limiting us to only being able to use these 4 colors. So now they are more open with saying, hey, if you want to get stuff made up that is on a pink shirt for breast cancer awareness, or if you want to do something that markets to this and it's a bright yellow background or whatever, we're okay with you now using go on different backgrounds. However, know that for Iron Valley branding directly, when it comes to their logo, their fonts, that sort of thing, these are the colors that they allow you to use. So there are specific hex codes that they need you to use because it is a specific black, it's a specific white, a specific color of rust, and a specific color of gray. In addition to those colors, there are hierarchies for the use of those colors. The primary color for Iron Valley is black. They want to see it, right? They don't want to see a big rust color, which is a little bit of black and a little bit of white. They want to see the black and then the white and then the rust and then the gray. So they like to see them in that usage just because that's what makes us us, okay? How many times have you guys driven down the road? So I'm going to use signs, for example, right? Our signs pop, they're black, everybody knows them. You're driving around and you see an Iron Valley sign, you instantly know, hey, that's Iron Valley. How many times are you driving around and you see a sign and you have to question who it is because they don't look the same, right? There are brokerages out there that don't have any sort of guidelines when it comes to their branding. And then as great as what it is to have free design wheel, it doesn't make your brand pop the way it does when there are things like these specific guidelines, right? Because I hate driving around and I'm like, who the hell does this person work for? And I'm like, oh, I know that office. Doesn't look like the sign across the street who's with the same office. It's completely and totally different. So just know that we do have specific colors and there is a specific way to use them whenever you are making marketing items. When I send out this recording for the training, I'm also going to send out the branding guidelines as well, in addition to all of this other fun stuff that we're talking about today. There are also specific fonts for Iron Valley. Don't ask me to pronounce them because I can't. The only one that I can pronounce is Northwell, which is that pretty little script that they like to use for certain words, all right? The fonts are easily accessible. They're available if you want to download them and you want to plug them into your program, that sort of thing. With using the fonts, this is what they don't want to see. Northwell is to be used in conjunction with the abracadabra, whatever it's called, font that is the primary font for Iron Valley. So we see quite a bit where there are people who are like, oh, well, I really like the look of the Northwell font. So they use it in a whole sentence. That's not how it's supposed to be used. Again, are you going to get your wrist slapped for it? No, you're not. Just know that there's a reason why they put these things together, because they like to see that clean brand across the board, okay? Logos, again, the logos are the cornerstone of the brand. They are the identity. When you see an Iron Valley logo, you know it's Iron Valley, right? Whether it's the IVRE or the standard Iron Valley logos, you just know who we are. So be proud of it as an Iron Valley agent. Then there are the specific franchise logos with our names. Again, if you don't know how to get to them, let me know. I will walk you through where to find them. And then something that a lot of people aren't aware of, there are specific requirements for color variations when it comes to the logos. I have seen people take logos and have change them. Do not make an Iron Valley logo red. Don't make it purple. Don't make it blue. It's black, white, or rust, okay? They are very particular about how much color is to be in a logo. So I tell everybody, instead of trying to recreate it, just use the logos that are available. It's super easy for you to do. And again, more with franchise colors. Something that they want to make certain that they're not seeing is the incorrect usage of the logos. So we're seeing more and more individual logos, whether it be a team logo or an agent creates their own branding logo, all of which is fine. Just make certain you're using it properly in conjunction with your Iron Valley logo, okay? Don't make them look like they're tied in together. Don't merge them. There are proper ways to place them. If you don't know, ask me.
Don't add of Central PA to the 4 letters.
Don't add of Central PA to the 4 letters. Absolutely, positively not. There is not a single one of our offices that is called IVRE. So. And then badges. So we do have our own badge. This is the one exception to the rule that we are able to grant you guys, because your license is with Iron Valley of Central PA. But if you look at your license is technically with Titan 4. Titan 4 has its own badge because your license also reads Titan 4. Or for Williamsport, your license reads Boom City. Boom City also has its own badge. If you want to use a badge, you can do that as well. You just need to make certain that it is the correct badge, okay? So again, if you don't know, ask, just ask me. In 2024, so these are the railroad violations for advertising. So there were 6 that were missing a phone number, 6 that did not have the information larger than the broker, or the salesperson information was larger than the broker. 2 had a bad team name, which we didn't even touch base on teams yet, because that's a whole nother thing. That is not even set in stone, but anyway. 1 was a violation for using agents' photos. And in this last one, how many of you saw last year the TikTok video that went viral of the young kid from Central PA who did a speed tour through a house? He blew up. That's how much his fine was for that video.
Because he didn't have permission to film it.
He didn't have permission to film it. It was not his listing. He was in somebody else's house, and he did not have their permission to take video footage while in their listing. That is the fine that he received from the Pennsylvania Real Estate Commission. I put in here an example of a citation that was given out. I've got a couple others that I'm going to read through here with you guys as well. But this one here shows that the respondent engaged in inappropriate advertising by failing to include the name and or telephone number of his employing broker in at least equal size as the salesperson or associate brokers and or telephone number on an advertisement. Yeah, it was only, I think it was a $250 fine. But $250 is $250, right? Just because you didn't put your office name and phone number. Oh, why did it come over like that? Okay, guys. I'm going to ask you a couple do or don'ts. Is this a do or a don't? Don't.
No.
Don't. Here's why. She doesn't have realtor capitalized, which she very well could. There's no trademark with realtor on either location. Her phone number is a lot bigger and more predominant than the office phone number. So these are items that, while most people don't even think about it whenever they're doing it, it comes up. Keep in mind, third-party companies are the ones creating ads such as this, okay? So they don't know what our required guidelines are. When you get eyes on it, if you have a question or you feel good about it, but you just want to make certain that you're covered, send it to us. We look at ads all day long. Do or don't.
Terry, can you go back to that last one, please?
Yeah.
Yes. Why is the use of the realtor there a problem? Why should that be capitalized when she's not using it as next to her name?
She is using it next to her name, and whether she's using it next to her name or not, it is a trademark. So whenever you use a trademark, it is supposed to be as written as the trademark. So anytime you use the word realtor, you should be, as long as you are able to, you should always be capitalizing it and including the trademark at the end.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Say it should have Martha Polk, comma.
She should have some sort of punctuation point between. Yep. All right. Is this one a do or a don't? Don't, do, don't. Anybody else think it's do?
Don't.
Her phone number is much bigger.
You got it. Her phone number is much more predominant than the office phone number. Okay. Again, in April, you pose a very good point. You can't even tell which one is the office phone number either, to be honest with you. So yeah, just. Okay, so these are some of our locals. These are ones that have come across my plate. And yes, I have everybody's permission to show them here. Okay. Is this one a do or a don't?
Because it's Holly's is a do.
Holly is a do. This is a do. Okay. So backstory, and she told me I can tell you. This was originally a don't. When it was put up, the wording across the top banner said your hometown realtor. Both her and I didn't think twice about it until she got a notice. It's now changed. It's now fixed. And this is the proper way to ensure that it's done. And it looks great, by the way. And we think we know who reported it. And I don't know why do or don't is coming across the top like that. But this one just came to me the other day from our wonderful friend, Mr. Gross. So, and if he's on here today, I don't know if he's on here or not, but Mike, I changed it. I fixed the, I fixed the grammar error for you on here before we posted it. So is this a do or a don't?
I would say do, because
Don't.
Is it a don't?
Okay.
I don't see a mistake with it.
I think it's a don't. I'm curious as to why you guys think it's a don't.
I think it's a do.
The Northwell font.
So the Northwell font, yes, be mindful of the branding font. However, it is not a violation. He can use this. Corporate is okay with it because it's not something that they're going to smack your wrist about. The logo is being used properly. The use of the word realtor is properly used. And the office information is properly put out there. Okay. So this is a do. So, and according to Mike, this is going to be hanging in the bathroom at Savannah's. It's really not, but that's what he told me the other day. So God love him.
That Northwell font is supposed to be used for just like a word.
Correct. But again, it's not a violation. It can be
That's a
used.
great screenshot.
I know. I wish it would have screenshot different. I talked with Brenton this morning and asked him, can I use this? He said, sure, go ahead. Is this a do or a don't?
That's a do.
A don't.
Okay,
doesn't have the office number. There's even no indication whether that's his or the office, but one phone number is missing. Right.
that is correct. He is missing the office phone number. So here is where I want to make certain you guys are aware. He does not have the office name here, but he doesn't have to, because literally the opening line of his videos instantly says, this is Brenton Mitchell with Iron Valley Real Estate of Central PA. He puts it right out there. It's there. It's done. What he is missing is, because he is marketing his cell phone number, he needs to have the office phone number as well, because he is advertising real estate services.
So if you
Okay.
say it, you don't
It's
have to
there,
write it.
it's open, it's out there for you. So, but he does have to have the office phone number, okay?
But he doesn't have to have the office name.
He is, I believe he is tagged, he's got the office as a
Oh,
check-in
right,
as well.
yeah.
So, yep.
Got it.
All right, here's Dawn's billboard. Is she a do or a don't?
Don't.
Don't. I have Iron Valley Real Estate and of where?
That's correct. She was using the wrong logo. But again, she did her job. She sent it to me, said, get eyes on this. What am I missing? We instantly corrected it and it was done and taken care of. But her original was incorrect because it showed just the Iron Valley logo, okay? And again, remember, if you're ever questioning your ad post material, just send it to us. I mean, we get them all day long. I get them all day long. And I think that's it. That's it, guys. So one of the things that I do want to make certain, I guess I should turn on my camera here so everybody at home can see the side of my face. Maybe.
Joseph zooms in outer space.
Joseph is in outer space. You got it. So I do want to just show you guys here. So I was talking to you about 2024 and the violations. So not including advertising, some of the highest fines that were issued were things pertaining to hot mess on several transactions, meaning your paperwork is just crap. Compliance, you're not turning it into the office, that sort of thing. There was over $20,000 in fines issued in 2024 for hot mess, literally exactly what it's called. A licensee received a $10,000 fine for acting as a brokerage of a company that he wasn't even licensed with. I already talked to you about. There were 7 suspensions for non-payment of fines. There were criminal charges brought up for people not reporting issues as far as your criminal charges, basically. So you got a DUI, tell us, right? You have an issue, tell us. If you're brought up on any charges, we need to know about it. Acting as a property manager without a broker's license. There were 2 license suspensions for that. Failure to maintain an office. A broker was shut down and suspended for failure to supervise. An agent sold a house without an active license.
Wow.
So these are the things that we watch for you guys because we want to make certain that, you guys are busy, right? We get it. Everybody goes a million miles a minute and sometimes things fall through the cracks, especially when it comes to things as simple as ads, right? You guys it's second nature nowadays when you're on social media to just throw a post up and pop it in there and say, hey, give me a call if you want to see this house. And you don't think twice about it. I do it. The reality of it is we all do it and you don't think about it. So know that if you get a screenshot from me, it's not me coming at you. It's me being that second set of eyes for you saying, hey, just check this out or whatnot. We all watch. It is our job to police each other, but it's our job to police each other in a nice way. The sad thing is there are agents out there who will police you in ways that you don't want to be policed. So just know that you're not alone. I know 1 or 2 of you in this room have had things that have come up against you. And we've said, okay, we're going to handle it. We're going to take care of it. So knock on wood, we're going to get through the rest of the year with not having anything. So what questions do you guys have in regards to advertising guidelines and all of that good stuff. There's a bunch of you online.
I have a quick question, Terry.
Stuff.
So I like to change, I just realized all my social banners have like either IVRE, not office specific, so I have to go through and change everything. But I like to change my banners often just to keep it fresh.
Sure.
So is that something that I just can I ask Ashley to help me with that, or I'm not sure.
You absolutely can. So we actually have quite a few banners. Every time corporate comes out with a banner for social media, we steal them and we rebrand them, and actually keeps them in a wonderful folder on Canva. Every now and again, depending on how busy she is, she'll throw them into our private Facebook page. So yeah, don't hesitate to reach out to her and say, hey, do you have a banner specific to this, or do you have a banner specific to that? Yeah, that's not a problem at all. That's what we're here for. I'd rather you ask than not ask.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yep. Anybody else?
I just wanted to say thank you real quick for bringing up the whole office specific branding. I didn't realize that, because yesterday when you and I had a conversation, I was like super confused on what was wrong, but now that I have a clear and understanding of that, I just wanted to say I appreciate that. I just got a lot of stuff that I gotta change now, so.
Yeah, and the thing is most people don't even think about it, right? Because we're all Iron Valley. We're all
Right.
Iron Valley. However, we have to remember that there are licensing guidelines that we have to abide by, and licensing guidelines state that you only advertise yourself with the brokerage that you are licensed with, and your brokerage is specific to X. If we were one big brokerage, it would make everybody's lives a whole lot easier, but we're not. So, there's that. But yeah, I'm happy to help. Do you have to use realtor at all or real estate agent? Can you just use your name with the, absolutely. You do, you don't have to put, you don't have to call yourself a salesperson or anything, just as long as you're advertising where you work. So the key is, if you are in any way, shape, or form talking about anything that has to do with the purchase or the sale, or helping somebody navigate through something pertaining to real estate, in whatever aspect that means, okay? Because there's a bunch of different aspects. There's people who work with investors. There's people who buy properties. There's people who flip properties. There are all kinds of things that pertain to the buy and sell of real estate. If in any way, shape, or form you are talking about that, you must disclose who you work with, okay? All right, this has been fun. Everybody still awake?
Eat.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you. We'll get this recording out, and along with it, there will be a bunch of attachments with all of these wonderful guidelines for you guys to save somewhere. So,
Thank you,
okay.
Terry.
You're welcome. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just taking off the screen, because I don't know what's behind it.
Bam, bam.
Don't want my stuff.